Welcome to the January transfer window episode of the realistic RTG career mode. We're looking to improve the squad, however we don't have much money to do so. So it's going to be a tricky scenario at the moment, managing players that come in, players that go out, and how the squad is going to develop, especially considering we don't know what our future holds with regards to what league we're going to be in, because we're currently sat 4th and in the playoffs. Form is good enough to see us probably stay in the playoffs if we can keep it up for the rest of the season, as is the gap, 9 points down to Wycombe in 7th. But there's a lot going on with our squad at present and in the summer as well. Loads of players running out of contract, loads of players that are going to be added to the transfer list in the summer as per Cambridge United's real life retained list. So there is going to be a big squad turnaround. We can kind of preemptively do some of it now because we've got a small budget to do so. But we're not going to be able to do everything that we want to do now, or even potentially in the summer, depending on how much money we've got. So we're going to have to be frugal. But this is where the realism comes in, because if it was just in-game, we could just go and buy anyone, whoever the hell we wanted. But we have a realistic budget that is determined by our balance, the squad we have, and what budget we have available wage-wise as well. So I have £630,000 available in my transfer budget, as you can see there. My current wage budget remaining is 7,750-ish. We could push it to 14,500-ish if we really want to. But then obviously I would be running the risk of being over budget next season as well as over budget this season, whilst needing to improve again in the summer. So I'm apprehensive to overspend now when things are going relatively well enough as we are. Thank you very much for your continual support on this save, by the way. The likes have been great. The views have been great. Your feedback in the comment section has been superb as well. We have 3 questions for you from that comment section, one of which we can cover now from Oliver. The rumour mill suggests that you are viewed in high regard by some smaller international teams. What do you plan on doing when international job offers come in? Quite frankly, I am solely focused on club football. I'm Cambridge United through and through, and we won't be taking any international options should they become available at any point. Now then, you guys want to know what's happening with regards to transfers, and as things stand, we don't have much money. We've got lots of players that are running out of contract. We've got lots of players that are aging, regardless of whether they are or are not running out of contract, and a number of players that are in on loan in a number of different positions. I am looking to sign a centre-back in this window and buy them. That player is Zack Jules from Exeter. Currently valued at 65 overall. Currently rated at 65 overall. Currently valued at £575,000. But it reckons I could get him out for a price of about 480, which says to me his contract doesn't have much longer left to run on it. And that's well within transfer budget as well. And look at the wages. That's well within wage budget too. That makes a lot of sense to me. What I would like your feedback on, however, is this free agent Alex Grieve. As the rule set stands, we're not allowed to buy players outside of the domestic region whilst we're in Leagues 1 and 2. However, there are a lot, this is what you guys have rightly pointed out in the comment section, there are a lot of Australians and Kiwis in the lower leagues in the UK, and less so in the top flight. And by the letter of the law, with the rule set we have, we would only be able to sign players from that part of the world when we reach the Premier League, which doesn't quite make sense. Alex Grieve is Kiwi, and the key point here is he's been released from an SBL side. So he was already in Europe, in the UK. So am I allowed to? You guys have the call here in the comment section. Am I allowed to sign Alex Grieve on a free? Yes or no? If you guys say yes, I will get him in. We should be able to afford him even after we've signed a couple of other players that we have our eyes on. But if you decide that I'm not allowed to sign players from Australia and New Zealand, or maybe we see, like we have in this case, where they were released from, and if they were released from the club in the UK, then they're already here, then I can do. So I think that should be okay. But obviously you guys have the deciding call here. It may take a couple of episodes to get that signing done as well, because I'm recording in advance and this is Tuesday's video being recorded on Monday, so I might not see the feedback for this until Thursday's video. So do bear that in mind. Hopefully, in the meantime, he doesn't get signed by anyone else. But if he's still a free agent now, then I don't imagine that he will do. But we'll just have to play it by ear. Right. We've got 4 games to play in this transfer window as well. So we're going to try and get our way through them. Blackpool, Wigan and Reading will be the 3 that we play because they are the 3 biggest sides. And Burton away from home should be one that we could comfortably deal with in a sim. So let's go and get stuff done. Interest in a Patreon player is fine. Interest from Regensburg in Germany for Saleh Kaikai, but that's not necessarily realistic. So we will be rejecting that. We, of course, are only accepting bids or considering accepting bids from clubs that would realistically bid for those players in real life. And Regensburg wouldn't bid for a League One player at Cambridge United, that's for sure. Let's go and play Blackpool then. Their side has got Jordan Rhodes up top still. He's very good. Blackpool, a side that were relegated in the... relegated from the Championship, threatened with relegation in this save earlier in the season. And at the moment find themselves still in 18th, but have won 3 of their last 5. And their squad is decent. So it's not going to be a walkover. It's not going to be easy, but it is a game we could get something from. Please do continue to drop the videos a like. Please do continue to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And click the notification bell, you won't miss out on anything. Of course, come and join me on stream as well. It'd be great to have your feedback live and in the moment. I know this has been a wordy intro, but it's a transfer window and we've got a lot to talk about. On the pitch now, though. Byers nicely in. Nicely tackled by Okadina. Brophy racing away. Brophy signed a new 1-year extension to his contract. One of those handful of players that have been retained by Cambridge United for next season IRL, and we're doing the same in this save. Obviously, if we get promoted, we'll more than likely only be a squad player because we'd be looking to improve in that position. But ultimately, we'd be looking to improve in every position, and we won't have the funds to do that. So we're going to have to be selective with who we buy, when we buy, and where from. Hopefully, and even how we buy, i.e. paid transfer or free transfer. And fingers crossed, everything will fall into place for us financially as well as in sporting terms in the football as well. It didn't quite fall into place for Jack Lancaster there. But Saleh could get a header away here on goal, and he has. And Coulson clears it off the line. Saleh wins it back. Gassan is here and available. And it's Paul Digby from the edge of the box who's hit the bar now. Off the line and off the woodwork. No opening goal for the U's. Didn't get it done. Gassan, great hold-up play from Gassan. A look at Brophy on the move. He's got Danny Andrew around the outside. The left-back's in the box here. Minimal options, so we'll just go for goal. And unfortunately, straight at the goalkeeper. No opening goal for Cambridge once more, but we are the side playing the better football. Really, the only side playing any football at the moment. Blackpool are just running around. Might as well just go for a jog rather than actually do anything football-wise. Liam Bennett doesn't score at all for us so far this season. Or hasn't scored at all for us so far this season. I think that might be the first shot he's had that's actually been on bloody target. Still, the U's push for a goal. Still, we haven't got one. Byers out to Hamilton. Are Blackpool going to have their first chance of the game here in first half stoppage time? CJ Hamilton bearing down on goal. Cuts it back nicely to Cowden Lavery. I think it's Cowden Lavery anyway. Byers, Lavery again. Jordan Rhodes feels like he's not touched the football at all until this exact moment. And he very nearly gets himself an assist as well, but the shot flies wide and it will be 0-0 at half-time. It's been all United, but it may well have been all Blackpool on the scoreline if it weren't for that last-minute poor finish. I'm going to check now. Is it Cowden Lavery? No, it's Shane Lavery. Oh, I was wrong all along. Lavery. Shane Lavery, not Cowden Lavery. Cowden Lavery, we've discovered with a quick Google, is it Doncaster Rovers. I think I've made that mistake before as well. With the Laveries. Oh, I've made a mistake there with my football as well. And Hamilton will find Byers. And are Blackpool going to start the second half very much on top? Well, the answer is yes anyway. But hopefully they don't score. They fired into life in stoppage time in the first half. And the manager has reiterated that they need to do more of that here in the second. Lavery back to Morgan. And in the box now. And out the box. But it's going to break nicely for Norburn. Could shoot. Morgan will. Blocked. And don't let Jordan Rhodes have half a yard in the box. Doesn't matter how old he is or how slow he's become. Give him half a chance, he will bury it. But thankfully, Jordan Cousins has done enough there defensively to ensure that they don't have a chance and they won't bury it. And actually on the counter here, we can send Jack Lancaster in behind. Didn't quite work. And we can't have a chance of our own. Willie Orban is signed for Arsenal, though, apparently. Top left, transfer confirmed. We'll, of course, give you a full roundup of the transfer window at the end of the episode and with the Patreon players as well. An update as to who's moved where. A number, I think, have moved in this window as well. But let's wait and see. 76% possession for them in the last few minutes and 3 chances to our none. Blackpool are dominating the second half the way that we did the first. We didn't find a way through. Will they? But maybe can get on the end of the cross. He's at the back post. It's Gassan that's there in the middle and Grimshaw with a wonderful stop. Just keep the scorelines at level. Pegging. He's going to get to that as well. It's not great though. It'll fall to Soleil. Is there enough space for the shot? Yes. There's enough space for the shot to actually do anything though. Digby, Lancaster. Oh, Lancaster from the edge of the box. He loves a finesse, but Grimshaw's in the way again. Pateta with the pressure on. Is Grimshaw going to make a final mistake? Doesn't look like it. In a game with multiple chances at both ends, in theory, although almost everything happened at that one end of the pitch. First half for us, second half for them. Both goalkeepers come out with a clean sheet. Each set of defenders was very, very impressive in that game, with 11 shots for us and 5 for them. Neither could find a way through. 16 shots on goal in the game. No goals themselves, though, which is a surprise, to be honest. Right, we are back and in the menus. So let me go and update my spreadsheet, and then we'll think about going and signing Zack Jules from Exeter. Zack has been playing very regularly for Exeter this season in their defensive lineup. Can play at centre-back and left-back, but clearly Mitchell's been playing at left-back, Rankin at right-back for them, and Zack has been partnered by a number of different players who've got a handful of appearances in those other centre-back roles. But Exeter are underperforming this season in the league, and certainly I feel like in the position we're in, it would be an appealing move for Zack to move from 18th placed Exeter to 4th placed Cambridge United. So this is one that I feel is doable and is realistic. So we're going to go and try and get that done immediately now as we're between games. Jordan Archer's still a goalkeeper I'm contemplating picking up as a free agent in the summer, although it depends who else might well be available. Sean Clare is a player also contemplating, thinking about looking at in the summer, but it depends how many games he's playing at Wigan and what league we're in, certainly. But Zack is doable right here and now, and they reckon £480,000 is about what we could get him for. So I'll try and be cheeky and offer 450. They'll ask for 470. We'll remove the sell-on clause, and maybe £475,000 is what they might well accept, which indeed they do. Very, very happy indeed with that. Now then, what does Zack want a week? He's on £1,900 at Exeter, and quite frankly, he's going to come in and be an important player in our starting lineup. He's happy with that squad role, which is good. We'll try and sign him on a 3-year deal. He's on 2 years remaining at Exeter. We will push the boat out for 3 years, putting faith in his current ability and the fact that he could well improve as a player. And he wants £1,400 a week. I think that's a bit unrealistic for him to ask for less money than he's currently on at a club that's higher and has bigger ambitions. So I will up his wages to £2,400 a week. We have the finances available to do so, and he should just accept that, even though he doesn't have... That's a little too high. Oh no, that's me. I was going to say that's me. I was like, hang on, I've offered him more wages and he's saying it's a little bit too high. There we go. Deal done. Zack Jules arrives as a brand new Cambridge United player. We have ourselves a new signing for the first time in this save, in this January transfer window. We weren't aware whilst we were in the signing process, nor did we see it anywhere, that it turns out, guess what? Zack Jules is injured for 3 months with a torn hip flexor. So he is a new player at the club. He would have failed his medical, but I still would have chosen to sign him regardless. You can still sign someone in real life if they fail their medical. Obviously, most choose not to, but I would have chosen to anyway. So Zack Jules is in, but he won't play for a little while. We didn't realise that in the signing process. Nobody noticed it. Not even the 100 plus people that are here watching live on stream. So, intriguing. Burton playing a 5-back. They've got Jonathan Lecco up top, who's going to be a difficult player to have. Josh Ojulaja, I always thought was a centre-back, but playing in midfield here for them. But this is going to be one that we look to sim away from home as we're going to play Reading and Wigan. We still win though, thanks to Jack Lancaster's late 86th minute winner. Thank you very much indeed. Jordan Cousins getting booked after a minute is not sensational work, but a win to go with our draw earlier on. And we've now actually played a game more than some of those around us. We've got Wigan away next. Obviously, they were deducted points earlier this season. They'd be on 41, which would have them in 8th had they not had the financial irregularities. Reading were deducted 6, which would have them on 27. And they would now, finally, be out of the relegation zone on goal difference. However, Stevenage and Port Vale both have games to play and both could get themselves above them in that instance, if they hadn't had the points deduction on either points or goal difference, depending on the results in their next games. It's Wigan and Reading for us next. I don't have the money to, really. I don't have the money to buy anyone else, and there wasn't anyone else available on a free. So we could contemplate loaning someone for the rest of the season with the wage budget we have available. You can see player sales 240, player purchases 475. My remaining transfer budget is 150 grand. I'm not going to be able to buy anyone of any real quality with that, am I? So, at present, £8,000 left in my wage budget. Could look to loan someone. Don't really know as we need to loan anyone at this particular moment in time. So, we will plough on. Before we get into the next game, we have question 2 for the press conference from Jamie Owen in the comment section. Says, with a few players' contracts running out in the summer, including loans, is there any news on who could possibly be signing a new one, or would you be letting players go? We've mentioned in the save, in fact we've mentioned in the video as well, that we are planning on matching Cambridge United's retained list from real life. So those that are being let go IRL, we are going to let go in this save. Those that have been transfer listed IRL, we will transfer list in this save. And those that have been offered a new contract in real life, we have done so with all of them already in this save. So my wage budget at present is bang up to date. That said, a couple of those that have signed new deals in real life, or actually I think a handful haven't signed new deals in real life, they're just being retained and not looking to be sold. So I may well look to sell some that in real life are staying at the club, depending on, of course, the progress we make in the save. Should we get promoted, or should those that are aging, Michael Morrison is the player in question, he's already dropped to 59 rated this season from 63. I think we'll be letting either him go at the end of next season on a free, or looking to sell him if anyone will buy him at 35 to 36 years of age. But for the time being, everything is in hand. We're matching real life whilst trying to improve the squad with our own signings too. Up next, Wigan here in League One. As we mentioned previously, away from home this time. A 4-3-3 for them against a tired side. Claire, who's on our shortlist, starts for them. Good at centre-back was recommended in the comment section, but he's actually on loan this year from Bristol City in the Championship, so he's unavailable. Hence why we went with Zack, Jules, although I believe Good was too highly valued for us anyway. We will make a couple of changes to the starting lineup for this one after the scoreless draw in the last game, but I don't believe there's much else we need to do at the moment in time. We will try and get something from this game against Wigan. Pearce. Oh, that's a great turn to beat the midfielder. And fired into Humphreys, who's beaten his man. Humphreys in the box, could look for a pass. Okadina with the saving tackle of all saving tackles. That was superb. Potentially putting in a bit of a interview here, Claire. If Wigan are still languishing, I think that didn't necessarily need saving from Stephens. Might well have been on its way wide. If we feel like we can tempt him from Wigan to Cambridge, then we will potentially look to do so, because he's not massively expensive. But we don't know yet what next season's budget is going to be. It depends entirely on what our overall bank balance is at the end of the season, because that's how we decipher what our transfer budget is going to be for any given season. Fajiri's forward here. I've got Elias with me. We'll get it onto his right, but not able to get a clean shot away before a defender closed him down. Brophy will get this under control. Fine for Jerry, looking for Elias through the gap. This time, much more space on his right foot, but Amos makes a good save in goal. Chances at both ends so far. Continually, as per the Blackpool game. No bloody goals, though. That's going to fall kindly for Cousins. He's going to have to lay it off. Zeno out to Danny Andrew. Andrew with the whip. And Kachunga with a header that goes over. Bennett, Zeno. And Bennett forward to Thomas. Kachunga. Faye's going to make me a run. It's a great ball around the corner for Jimmy Okunabiri. The angle is tight. And he's missed the opportunity. We will not take a 1-0 lead here. Okunabiri and Cousins. Spread it all the way out wide right. Thomas will help it to the right back. Really many options in support here, so I'll squeeze that to Elias. And Faye again, he's making a good run, but he's got a better angle this time. And Fajiri surely does make it 1-0 Cambridge United. Literally on the stroke of half time. 1 minute added on, and there was about 1 minute and 7 seconds played when he struck the ball. The U's are in front away from home. Lovely ball over the top. Oh, and that's superb. Humphreys into Smith. Smith, Okadina's there again. He really is genuinely very good. We are matching the real life as we've mentioned, but it would be, or it will be, a shame to see Okadina go. His stat set just suits gameplay, doesn't it? Physical, pacey. Doesn't necessarily have to be that good technically to be able to do a job in game. And that is certainly a feature that is valuable in these saves. Claire down the right hand side for them here. Cross hits Danny Andrew in the face. Goes out for a corner to Wigan. They look like they're going to probably take short actually. Smith into Godot. Had that excellent ball earlier, but not as good a one on this occasion. Smith, oh, just timed it right. It's Watts though. Kelland Watts, saved by Stevens. Needed stopping. Didn't look like it was just on target. Smith will deliver here. They've got tall people in the box. And Godot is there. And Stevens with an acrobatic stop to deny him. Plenty of chances in both today's games, but still only the one goal. Into Smith. Through the gap. Smith again. Oh, Zeno, that's a big interception. Lost it though. Godot again. Smith. Stings the palms, but Stevens again will hold on to it. Might be clean sheet leader for the league, Jack Stevens, although I imagine Bolton have kept quite a few in their fantastic season to this point so far this year. We'll have a look after this game. See if Stevens is right up. He should be right up there at the very least. We've been rock solid defensively in a number of games this season. We've obviously made it more difficult with the sliders as the season has progressed, and results have definitely taken a turn as a result. But at the moment, we've been able to keep a clean sheet in back-to-back games here. We did concede in the simmed game, sorry, didn't we? 2-1 against Burton, but I feel like Reading we could get a result against as well. We'll wait and see if we can keep the result we've got here, because still Wigan come forward. Humphreys draws Stevens into another save, and in stoppage time it could now happen. Keepers up. Smith with a corner. It's delivered well. Zeno! Big boys up with a big clearing header, and that will be game, I imagine. I was just going to try and lump it and score from well within my own half. Don't need to. Cambridge 1, Wigan 0. Back to the transfer window. Reading then. Still in indifferent form. Still 22nd place in the league, despite having a really decent squad. Underperforming is probably the word, isn't it? Lewis Wing and Charlie Savage in midfield. Still Ruud van Nistelrooy in at cam, but Sam Smith not involved in the whole squad at all. Ballard up top. Dom Ballard, my brain wants to say, but I'm probably wrong with that. Yidom at right back is solid. Joel Pereira was particularly good against us, wasn't he, for Reading last time we played them. Still got Patreon player Chris Taylor on the bench. He might see some football, he might not. We've been rotating the side a little bit in today's episode, and we will look to do so again here. I might put Ben Jackson in at left back. Faye scored a goal, so he's earned the right to start the next game as well. A bit Fiorentina-esque. What a whip that is. And Aziz with a great header that surely would have gone in if the defender wasn't in the way. That was really good from Reading. But they might end up going behind. Jack Lancaster in, but behind their line. Support is arriving. Time the ball right. Fajiri Okunabiri misses the target. Oh, he's just going to have the legs on Ben Jackson here, isn't he? Jackson's quicker than Danny Andrew. But still, actually, as it happens, is quick enough. Who's going to get to that first? They do. I tried to get there with Brophy. Oh, Aziz, that change of pace was fantastic. And here's Ballard now. Okadina's the man in the way again. ×2. And the keeper's up to claim it. I will be gutted to see Jules Okadina leave the club, but we've committed to matching the realistic decision from the club. Albeit, we'll do it with a heavy heart. That's a great ball. Is he onside? Linesman says yes. Back to Makairu. Oh, it's a great turn. It's a great save as well by Stevens. Brilliantly done. Surely should have scored. Wing will take the corner short. Less than 25 minutes to go now in the game. And that's going to fall nicely initially for Holmes, but his touch lets him down. And Bengay and Ballard. Okadina in. Okadina caught on it. Nibs saved by Stevens. Really scoring at the Abbey once more, Harvey Nibs, but for the wrong bloody team as far as we're concerned. Thankfully it stays out, but can't lift the pressure. Boos going round the ground. Really sure why from Cambridge fans, unless it was for Harvey as a former player. Perhaps that's coded into the game. Here's Makairu. Option to go again is there, but Bennett has it covered. Decent cross. He might be losing out physically at the back post. Ben Jackson, indeed he does, but thankfully Finn Aziz can't direct his header on target. Lewis Wing looking to thread the needle. Does so. Yadom and Ballard and wide. Again, chances for both sides and nobody can find the back of the net. A braver on for Carson for them. We've seen so many shots on goal in today's episode. And to this point, across 3 games, probably 30 plus chances, only 1 goal. Both goalkeepers and wayward finishing. Probably the reason for it. Reading in possession though here late in the game. Yadon with runners. There is to be a goal in this one. It looks like it will probably come from either this Reading pressure or a very quick Cambridge counter-attack. But even when we win the ball back, we lose it again. Wing to Charlie Savage and spread out wide. Only 1 minute added on, and that 1 minute is done. That is a draw for Cambridge United against Reading. A valuable point for them. Frustrating draw for us. I don't think the boos from the crowd are justified, really. I feel like we were good enough value for a win should we have been able to sneak it, but unfortunately we just weren't quite able to sneak it. We have the third and final question for you from the presser. This one from the True Blitz saying, is the club looking to keep Ghassan Ahadme on a permanent, or do you already have a replacement in mind? That actually is a question that I will pass on to you guys in the comments section. Do you think we should look to sign this year's loanee Ghassan Ahadme on a permanent next season from Ipswich, should they be open to selling him? Or do we look elsewhere for a new striker? Jenna's leaving us, Okanabiri's leaving us, Taylor's leaving us. We will, at the beginning of next season, only have Joseph Vegas as a striker. Unless you want me to sign Ghassan on a permanent. He's gotten 10 league goals and 1 assist so far this season. He's the top goal scorer at the club alongside probably Brophy still actually. Oh, Fajiri's got 7 now. Brophy on 5. At present, do you think he's worth trying to buy? Currently valued at £725,000. Affordable, certainly. Good enough for this division? Yes. Good enough for the Championship if we get promoted? I don't know. But certainly at 23 years of age, room to grow regardless. I'm going to go and sort my finances out with regards to the spreadsheet, and then we will have transfer deadline day at the end of the episode. So transfer deadline day then, 10 hours to go. Mohamed Simikan to Real Betis is the biggest move so far in this deadline day part of the window, but I'm sure there have been bigger deals elsewhere throughout the course of the season. There's been a bigger deal. Now, no, it wasn't bigger, but it's still sizable in terms of its notability. Thomas Partey, £30 million from Arsenal to Barcelona. Pavlidis coming to the Premier League, 25 years of age, Greek from RZ to Brentford for 27.9. Kieran Trippier to Real Madrid is not necessarily one I would have expected at all. Wait and see what else happens throughout the course of the window. Anything of note to go through in these latter stages. Sam Taylor leaves, I want to say Tranmere, to go to another club whose badge I don't recognise. I apologise. Tammy Abraham Leaves Roma to go to Real Sociedad, £33.2 million, the second biggest deal of the day. Now, the third biggest deal of the day is Alex Garcia goes from Girona to Atletico Madrid. Dunk has been approached by Sandhausen. Harrison Dunk, available on a free, of course, leaving the club at the end of the season. And he may well be... Where is Sandhausen? It's Germany, isn't it? SV Sandhausen, I think, a German third division. I might be mistaken, but I believe so. And that is his destiny sealed. Mikolenko goes to Feyenoord, which is a surprising move for him at 24 years of age. Kusunu by Leverkusen to Bilbao, one of the biggest deals on deadline day then, with 2 hours to go. A few more loans going through, but that is all she wrote for the transfer window. And we'll go and have a look and see who the biggest deals of the day were. And I know for a fact a number of the Patreon players have also managed to pick up a move in that deadline day. So let me save it there and we'll go and have a look. So the biggest deals of the window all told were as follows. None in the top three were actually in the winter window. Achraf Hakimi to Manchester United, however, and Leroy Sané to Manchester United as well. Now they are a couple of very good signings. Julian Alvarez has gone to Leverkusen. Great signing for Leverkusen. Poor business from Manchester City to sell him, but he does leave them a lot in career mode, doesn't he? Which is why we signed him at Leeds. Joshua Kimmich has gone to Atletico Madrid, and Kingsley Coman left in the summer. Bayern letting a lot of good players go. They did sign Jack Grealish in the summer, but poor, I think. Domenico Berardi to Arsenal is one we see quite regularly, isn't it? Alex Garcia we saw to Atletico Madrid. Toni Kroos to PSG. Kroos, of course, retiring IRL. That happened in December, so went through at the beginning of the month. Douglas Luiz to Barcelona is an intriguing one. Rodrigo de Paul to Liverpool. Malero to Leipzig. We've got Kusunu to Bilbao, as we saw. Anything else from January? Simakan we saw. O'Reilly to Real Sociedad from Celtic. I think that might be it. Oh, Garnacho to Villarreal for £33.4 million. Tammy we showed you. And Toon Koopminers from Atalanta to Roma. With regards to the Patreon players, there have been some more transfers, some more moves from free agents. So we have seen, as we scroll down, so it's not able to scroll, we've seen Yanda sign for FC Goa in India. We've seen James Blacker sign as a free agent for Monaco, which is a great move for him. We've seen Bjorn Jackson bearer sign for Werder Bremen in Germany. We've also seen in this window, where was it? There was still two or three further down. Brandon Yang has signed for Real Betis. Real Betis Balompié is full main side Real Betis. I've just never seen them down as Real Betis Balompié before. Never seen the Balompié as part of the name of the club, but that is first team Real Betis, not a second string second team, and I believe that was it. So everyone else is still at their original clubs or as a free agent, but all growing well and will continue to do so for the rest of the save. Everybody has potential of 92. It's just a question at the moment of who's going to get there first, but it's also not going to happen anytime soon either. But we are, of course, in this for the long haul with this realistic road to glory that sees us still just hanging on to third spot, but only by the skin of our teeth with that extra game played. We have Derby County in the next episode, which could be massive for the automatic promotion spot. We also have Barnsley in the next episode as well, which could be huge for the playoff spot as well, because they're the ones in fourth trying to close in on Derby themselves and only 4 points off. We've got Wickham to come in the next episode as well. They're 7th. Oxford to come to, they're 8th. Bit of a big one, really, isn't it? Don't miss it. Join me for it tomorrow. Do drop the video a like if you've enjoyed today. So thank you very much indeed for your continued support, and to those on the board behind me, I appreciate the support. Thank you. Today we're saying to Shrewt Farms, who's been with us on stream actually all day as well, which is great. Joel, and to Bacon here as well. Thank you for your continued support, all of you. And do of course keep the likes coming in. Do come and join me on stream. It'd be great to have you. But for now, I'm going to go and record the next episode if you don't mind. Let me know the feedback about that striker too. He's still a free agent as it stands. So that, and Gassan obviously, the feedback for that will be vital too. I'll see you tomorrow.